As a science teacher, I emphasize the S, the science area of STEM, and I'm really enthusiastic because I think that's a great way for my students to explore the world around them and integrate engineering topics, math topics, and technology into the classroom. So it's a really great avenue for that.
I try to make sure that as far as possible, students are able to develop their own understanding of the concepts with guidance. So I want to avoid the situation where I simply give them information, and I want to rely on their ability to observe and to draw some conclusions. Sometimes the conclusions are not perfect, but I find that as they draw their own conclusions, they grasp a better understanding of the subject matter. I also try to make the class as relaxed as possible. If there's an opportunity to make a joke that doesn't disrupt the general trend of the class, I will allow it. And I also want to avoid assigning excessive amounts of work to the students.
I'm really lucky in that I'm part of a program that allows me to work with students outside of the regular classroom structure. The 49ers STEM Leadership Institute was a project that came about between the Silicon Valley Education Foundation, the 49ers Foundation, and Santa Clara Unified School District. And I kind of work in the middle of all three of those organizations to direct a program where we see students not only during the school day, but there's about 300 extra hours we spend with them every year, which is a really big commitment for the kids. But all that time is spent doing hands-on applied STEM work, and so they're working in teams, doing real-world application type projects and challenges and competitions. And as the students go through the 6 years of our program, we're asking them to take an active leadership role and to give back to the community, to make sure that they're involved in finding things that are important in the world around them.
I'd have to say, hands down, what is unique about my classroom is that I have a lot of hands-on activities. Personally, I have a very short attention span, and so I need to be constantly moving around. Like at one point I'm in front of the room, another point I'm like on the other side. And so I make sure that I give opportunities throughout the day for the students to actually get out of their seat and actually apply the knowledge. I tell my students that I care 10% about the notes and about 90% how you apply that knowledge. Whether that's by doing a lab with your group, doing a solo lab, you are not just sitting there and your only source of information is the textbook. So that is what makes my classroom unique.
Besides financial, one of the major barriers to our success is the focus on grades. Students are striving to earn that A, B, or C, and they tend to lose sight of the actual learning and effort that should be occurring throughout their time in school. I would love for there to be some set of formative assessments throughout the year that students go back to as a benchmark so they can really reflect on what they've learned throughout the school year.
I feel I know when a student is getting it. They're attending class every day. They are fully engaged in the subject matter. They're asking excellent questions. They are excited about the learning. And as I'm teaching, I can actually see them nodding gently, like, I'm getting this. I understand. And they are excited about learning. And that's what makes me love what I do.